fat grafting is when we use a liposuction cannula and we do liposuction to harvest the fat grafts. And just like in liposuction, you've probably seen this on TV, there's a cannula, the fat comes through the tube, goes into the tubing into a canister, that's called the aspirate. And then what we do as an additional step in that scenario is we isolate the fat out of that liquid and re-inject it. And fat grafting can be a great technique for volumizing certain things. I've certainly used it in the breast and do sometimes for that. It's been popularized with Brazilian butt lifts. I use it a lot in facial aging cases where we're volumizing aging faces. It can be used in a lot of different techniques, but like a skin graft where you take the skin cells from one part of the body and take it off its native blood supply and put it on another part of the body, donor site, recipient site. That's what we're doing with fat grafting. We're taking those fat cells out of their native donor site and putting them in a recipient site. And not unlike those skin cells, when we're doing skin grafts, all the fat cells don't survive. We know this. At best, 65 to 70% of those fat cells survive. The other ones that don't survive are absorbed by the body. Our immune system takes care of that. But that's one way to volumize the breast. The other way is implants. And different surgeons have different preferences, but in general, not always, but in general, I prefer implants. This gets back to an idea that's a fundamental concept in plastic surgery. We say, and many plastic surgery residents are taught from an early point in their training, replace like with like. That's a phrase that plastic surgery residents hear a lot. Replace like with like means that when you're reconstructing something or restoring shape or volume to something, you need to replace or reconstruct it in the same manner that it was deconstructed. I'll give you an example, like an ear. If you're missing an ear, let's say from a traumatic event or from cancer, and you're going to reconstruct an ear, you can't just make it out of skin. You have to make the cartilage framework out of cartilage, and then you have to put the skin over it, and then you have to elevate it to look like an ear. When we think about breasts, in a nutshell, breasts are really three things. There's skin, there's fat, and there's gland. And most commonly, when people are interested in volumizing their breast, they're not interested in adding skin to their breast. Fat, which doesn't have a very dense, or it's a bit amorphous with regards to its structure. That's not what people are wanting. What people want is they want bigger glands. And in the case of aging and mommy makeovers and scenarios like this where the gland is atrophying, the gland is losing volume and going away, that's the part that you want to restore. We want to restore that part because we think it looks feminine, round, youthful, all of the above. And so implants, in my opinion, do a much better job of doing that particular job than fat, because implants are like gland. They're structurally designed to be round and have the same density as gland. And that gets back to replace like with like. If you're trying to replace atrophic gland with volume, then you want to use something that's going to be more glandular in appearance, not fat. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If it doesn't, well, we can agree to disagree.